money. Okay, so this is our plot. The main character is an ex-drug addict called Scott Taylor, and he's trying to get clean, but he still owes money from when he was an addict to his ex-drug dealer, who's called Mickey. And he's a bit of a dodgy character. He's quite, he's a gangster, and he's not a very nice guy. So Mickey and Vicky, who is his assistant, they kidnap Scott's 2-year-old daughter. And who's called Charlie, and to get Charlie back, Scott's got to, Mickey sets Scott demands using the mobile phone that he's got to carry out to get her back. So it's quite exciting, really.
Shall I go this?
Yeah, you.
Basically, we've done loads of like different things to sort of promote it and tell you this is just one of the things we made an official website with a couple of reviews around and picture of the main character there. And a little countdown clock to say when it's released. It's awesome.
What you can't see is the tabs. We've also got a page for the characters. We've got a profile characters. We've got the plot, and we will have some more things like photos and screenshots and stuff to it.
Obviously, when it's begun production.
Yeah.
And these are the sides of the story.
The first shot is of like. It's a mid-shot basically showing the main character. Obviously you don't know it's the main character at the moment, but it's like from the outside looking in, so it's almost like somebody's peering in his life, and it could also be just an establishing shot showing where the house is, where it's shot and all that. Then we've got this mid-shot of Charlie, the little girl. She's obviously under the main character, so she's got to be shown in other ways, but and this one is the same shot pretty much as that one, but it's of the male character picking up the phone when he's being called by the ex-drug dealer, which obviously he owes money. So.
Okay, so the next shot is we've been showing Charlie playing on the floor. It all seems quite normal, and Scott receives a phone call. And then the camera is following Vicky, who actually turns out to be the one who's going to take Charlie. So it's a handheld camera shot, so that gives a sense of all is not well, and that actually this perfect family scene is not going to go quite as smoothly as it seemed. So that adds the element of drama in it. And then there's another shot of Scott on the phone after the conversation with Mickey developing. It's actually turned out it's a bit of a distraction call. Obviously he's not in the same room as his daughter, so it leaves her vulnerable.
And this is the last handheld shot of a mid-level. It's of Jess taking Charlie and showing that Charlie's actually been taken away from the house, and that's when it all starts to get a little bit tense that Charlie's actually been taken.
So we're going straight in with the daughter being taken rather than explain.
Getting the plot out of the way, basically.
Yeah.
It shows it shows a conversation between the two people, between Mickey and Scott.
Yeah. And
basically that conversation is a constant thing throughout the film. They're on the phone a lot, they're talking to each other a lot, and that's sort of like one of the things about our genre and psychological thriller. It's not a big action thing, it is mainly about it's talking, it's mind.
Well, there is some action.
There is a little bit of action, but not much. But basically that, throughout the trailer, the conversation between two people on the phone turns out to be a bit of a voiceover. And
it's in the conversation on the phone that they have at the start is where you also get sort of get an idea of what's happening, why she's been taken, and then she's taken, so you're wondering what's going to happen next.
Anyway, after the bit where, after the bit that Vicky takes Charlie away, we're going to start to get into the trailer a bit heavier and everything. Music will come in a little bit more. We're going to start off with an establishing shot. At this point we had not figured out where the establishing shot would be of, so it says establishing shot to be considered. And then as we go, it's going to show Scott on the phone again on the phone call. We're going to do a weird handheld shot where, we're going to do a shot reverse shot thing first when they're both on the phone, it cuts to each other. And then it's going to be a little montage of Scott doing different things, running like dramatic things, running close-ups, high-angle shots of him doing actually things.
Yeah.
And so, for lack of a better term, I suppose.
All these things that the drug dealer's making him do to sort of pay off his debt because he can't pay it off and to try and get his daughter back. So it's quite dramatic, and he's obviously anguished and he's obviously determined to do because he wants to get his daughter back. So it's quite exciting, really.
The next bit's basically show, well, that's what we're going to do in this bit. It's going to be showing just quick shots, literally quick cuttings of things that he's going to have to do throughout the film. It's going to be this is like the end of the trailer, so it's going to be to quick music, it's going to be quick cuts, just showing little snaps of things, basically, just to get people interested and stuff.
Obviously not giving too much away, but just giving an indication that some of the stuff's not going to be very nice.
As a very cheery, happy example, there's him killing a homeless man.
Yeah.
It's always good. Not going before killing homeless people, sometimes. Then that's about it, except for the production companies bit and stuff. Oh, they're back a bit. The production company's back a bit. After this is a few back now. Oh, kidding. After Charlie's been taken away, before it starts getting into the actual swing of the trailer, it does show our production and distribution companies there.
Then further on, we'll show the name.
I'm sorry. The genre we've chosen is psychological thriller. That is basically the basic definition of psychological thriller, and basically explains that it's usually two people. Usually involves two people who don't, two enemies usually, but they don't like take out their differences and like attacking like physical ways. It's more about mental stuff and everything. That's just the base thing. Georgia?
Obviously the genre of our film is going to be psychological thriller. We did look at different sorts of films, like to link in with it. We looked at Phone Booth
and Die Hard with a Vengeance.
And they all sort of had that same sort of feel to the film, so that's where we got our inspiration from. And
to be made to do stuff over a phone for all of us. Quite a prominent feature in both of those films, so that's where we did research into those and took inspiration from those two a bit, I guess. Okay,
this is the first character.
Yeah, this is the ex-drug dealer. This is Scott's ex-drug dealer. He's obviously it's also me. There's going to be 500. So, but he's not a very nice guy, and he's obviously willing to do horrible things to get money, which sort of is the basis of the whole film.
We're going to make him come across as sort of a very confident, smart, arrogant person who really only cares about himself.
Yeah, which is going to make the audience not like him. He's almost the bad guy of the film. So.
And obviously, since he's like you're a very, but
we're going to
a very high standing figure, money wise and power wise. You're going to have him wearing a suit.
Yeah, he's getting rich off what he's doing, so we're going to portray him so that the audience won't like him and they'll want Scott to win. Yeah.
This is Scott.
Scott's obviously the main character, and he's the one obviously whose daughter's stolen. And we portrayed him as quite a selfless person, because obviously Charlie's really important to him, so he'll do anything to get her back. Here we've put it's really socially awkward due to being in recovery, but obviously he's going to be after being on really hard drugs for so long.
Scott's character will behave like very selflessly. He's putting himself in extreme danger to save his daughter. He's not going to care about himself, and he intends to do absolutely anything to get her back, including killing homeless people, as previously mentioned. And he's going to be like very socially awkward. We're going to portray him as a very socially awkward person.
But within that, you sort of have an affection to him because you feel sorry for him because he's done everything.
Yeah,
and he's trying to get clean.
We're going to show that with the extreme close-ups, and
and
obviously we need him to connect to him. That's what that is there. You can see his face very nicely. It's got a big face. And this is Vicky, who is Mickey's assistant. Who sticks by Mickey. She carries out anything he does, basically just to keep herself from drugs and everything. She's like a very insecure and nervous person, which is why she clings to someone so powerful and demanding. And well, she's a poor person. She's going to be wearing like really raggy clothes and very.
Yeah, she's almost a bit of a slave, really, not to use that. She just she tends to.
Oh, she doesn't look it now.
No,